What I'd like to do is sort of go back right to when you first realized something was changing.
Yeah.
And can you sort of tell me exactly what your situation was then? What triggered you to realize that you had a problem with your hearing?
Well, it started with, I was lying in bed once and the room started spinning. So I got vertigo.
Yeah.
And from then it felt like I gained a tinnitus and my hearing didn't sound right after that. So I think the dizziness went and I didn't think anything of it. The
Right.
tinnitus didn't go and the hearing was just a bit, I didn't know if it was gone or what was wrong with it or what. And I almost thought it was temporary. I
Right.
thought it was temporary. I thought I got this now, but it will go soon.
Yeah.
Once I get, and then eventually I think I went for a hearing test at Boots because I was
Right.
getting my eyes tested, and I think they said, "Do you want a hearing test?" And I did a hearing test. They were like, "This is pretty bad. You need to go to the doctors if you haven't already." I went to the doctors, and then at the same time, I was started getting more dizzy spells, and that's when they diagnosed me as having labyrinthitis.
Yes.
Or I had labyrinthitis, and then as I was getting more dizzy spells, they were unsure whether to call it Meniere's. However, it ended up being the dizzy spells stopped after a little while, and the hearing just was as bad as it is in my right ear, which you would call moderate.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had intermittent like dizzy spells, like maybe once a year, maybe once every 2 years,
All
till it
right.
got to the point where I had one really bad dizzy spell, like a vertigo, where I was throwing up. I was on the floor. It was awful. And my hearing went in my left ear, which was my good ear.
Right.
So it traveled to the other side. And then that's when I had, and I was taking steroids to try and get the hearing back. I had an injection in the ear, a steroid injection in the ear to try and save it. And then I think what happens with Meniere's is you can have that vertigo attack and gain tinnitus. And I gained a tinnitus as well. And then then sometimes your hearing can come back a little bit, and then it can go again, then it can come back, and then eventually it's got to the point where I've got severe hearing loss in my left and moderate in my right.
Okay. How old were
So
you when you had the first attack, and how long did it take before it sort of went to the other ear?
it was, so I would have been about 26, 27.
Okay.
And then it went to the other ear. My hearing started going in my other ear about 3 years ago.
Right.
I would have been about 35, so about 7, 8 years before
Yeah.
it moved to the other side.
Okay.
It's quite rare actually in Meniere's to go to both sides.
Is
It's
it?
very,
Okay.
yeah, it's very rare. Meniere's would normally only be in one ear, and then it's rare to go on the other side. It's rare for it to happen at such a young age as well for me.
Mm.
Yeah,